Well, the Jets lose 6-3 to the Avalanche on Tuesday night. They are eliminated from postseason contention, and Connor Hellebuyck really struggled in the 5 games against the Avalanche, allowing 24 goals, save percentage of .864. He gave up at least 4 goals in each game. As we bring in our Winnipeg Bureau Chief, John Liu, with the season on the line in Game 5. The Jets, Josh Morrissey talked about it afterward. One of their strongest overall efforts of the series, but they still fall 6-3. Was Colorado just more clinical in capitalizing on the chances that Winnipeg gave up?
Yeah, absolutely, Jay. And that's something that Josh Morrissey brought up as well, is that the Avalanche are 2 years removed from a Stanley Cup victory, and they have primarily the same core intact, and that they showed a champion's heart. That the Jets, yes, they did play their best game of the series, and I'm not just being subjective about that. Josh Morrissey said that. Adam Lowry said that. And so they can hold their heads up high in that regard, but the fact is that they ran into a wagon, a buzzsaw. That Valeri Nichushkin's goal was a very good example of that. That was scored on the rush. They attacked with so much speed that they backed off the Jets' coverage. They end up scoring a goal on the rush. All it took was a few seconds after the Jets had taken a 1-0 lead. The Avalanche took advantage of a very bad break for the Jets. And it's like, yes, you do create your own opportunities, but Neil Pionk's own goal, that was just horrible luck. And then Adam Lowry pointed out the fact that in the third period, they gave up a couple of quick goals to the top line, to Nate McKinnon's unit. And so, I mean, it's like the Avalanche scored from all ends of their roster. It wasn't just the McKinnon line and Cale Makar. Valeri Nichushkin had 7 goals in this series. Arturi Lehkonen, 5 goals. So their secondary scoring was exceptional. And so really, the Jets, they ran into a buzzsaw. But having said that, they went out with their heads held high simply because they went down with a fight.
Well, and let's talk about that. We remember, John, last year when Winnipeg lost to the Golden Knights and how upset Rick Bowness was, talked about a lack of pushback from his team. Curious to know what were Bowness's feelings about his team's pushback or his team's overall play in this particular postseason.
Yeah, it was 180 degrees, 180 degree turn, Jay. I was there when Rick Bowness used the word disgusted with the way that his team went out against Vegas, losing 4 straight. Well, I mean, they just lost 4 straight in being eliminated by the Avalanche. But what Rick Bowness says was that in 2 years that he's been the head coach, that was by far the best playoff game that they've played, and that they're way ahead of where they were at this time last year, and that he was 100% very proud of the guys, that they're going to learn from this. It's going to sting, but the fact is they took strides forward, and that he really wants them to learn from this experience, that they lost to a very recent champion, and that they should take that, put it into their toolbox, and use that as motivation and as a learning lesson as well. But he does accept, though, that there are going to be people who criticize the Jets because they have now lost 4 straight, 4 times in being eliminated in series since 2018. And so Bowness says that, yes, that's something that they're going to have to live with and something they'll have to answer to. Absolutely they will, because the fan base will bring that up. There are plenty of dissatisfied fans. But I'll tell you, Jay, in my 2 seasons on the beat, this was the loudest crowd I've ever heard at Canada Life Center. And as I was walking from the media room to the Jets dressing room after the final buzzer, I could hear plenty of fans through the stands chanting Connor Hellebuyck's name in support of who was likely going to be winning his 2nd Vezina trophy. So yes, there are going to be people criticizing, hating on him and his team, but the fact is that there's still a substantial amount of support for this team this season, because they made strides forward, significant strides forward than where they were at this time last year, Jay.
I love it. Nice to hear a little bit of support in that building for Connor Hellebuyck. As you said, he'll likely win his 2nd Vezina. John Liu, you're the best. Thanks for this.